The mysterious messages. One evening, a young man named Daniel was feeling particularly down. He had been dealing with some personal struggles and was looking for a distraction. After scrolling through his social media accounts, he decided to open Snapchat and take a few selfies with his friends. His mood was low, and he thought adding some new people might help him pass the time. As the evening went on, Daniel added several strangers to his Snapchat friends list, hoping to spark some new conversations. But after a few hours, he began to notice something odd. An unknown user had started sending him messages. At first, it didn't seem too strange. There are plenty of random accounts on Snapchat, but what caught his attention was that the user's profile was completely blank. No name, no photo, nothing. Just an empty circle where a profile picture should be. Daniel didn't think much of it at first. He figured it might be a fake account or an automated bot. However, his curiosity got the better of him, and he opened one of the messages. As soon as he did, a chill ran down his spine. The message contained a photo of him sitting in his room, taken from a corner he couldn't remember seeing. What scared him even more was the fact that the photo had been taken right at that moment, while he was reading the message. He hadn't taken the picture himself, and the angle was too perfect for it to have been a screenshot from his phone. It was as if someone had been watching him, maybe even inside his room. His heart started to race as he looked at the photo again. He quickly checked the window and the door of his room, but there was no one there. Maybe it's just a coincidence, he told himself, trying to push the unsettling thought out of his mind. But then, the messages kept coming. They weren't just random texts either. Each new message contained a series of photos, images of his room, things he hadn't posted online or shared with anyone. He could see his desk, the items scattered across it, the posters on the walls, details that no stranger would know about. There were even new selfies of him moving around in his own room. The unknown user was tracking his every move, sending photos of him from different angles. The messages grew more cryptic and eerie. One simply said, "You're not alone here." Another message showed a picture of his reflection in the window, even though he hadn't noticed anyone standing outside. Panic set in as he realized that someone, somewhere, had been watching him closely, even when he thought he was alone. Daniel tried to block the account, but to his horror, he discovered that the mysterious user didn't appear in his friends list. The account seemed to be invisible, yet the person could still send him messages and images. Desperate, Daniel attempted to delete his Snapchat account entirely, but nothing worked. The images kept coming, more disturbing than the last, until one night, he received a message that made his blood run cold. The message contained a photo of the street in front of his house. It was a clear shot of the sidewalk, his mailbox, and the street lamp across from his yard. The caption read, "I'm here now. Look out your window." Daniel froze, his body shaking with fear. He felt a cold sweat on his skin as he slowly approached the window. His heart was pounding in his chest, and his mind raced with all kinds of horrifying possibilities. He pulled the curtains aside and peered out into the night, but there was no one in sight. The street was empty, just like it had been when he took the photo. For a moment, Daniel thought it might just be another sick trick, until he noticed something unsettling. The photo had been taken just a few moments before he received the message, but there was no sign of a photographer, no shadow or figure standing nearby. He realized then that someone had to be close, someone who had been watching him through the window. Daniel's paranoia grew. He was no longer sure what to believe. Could it be that someone had hacked his phone and was spying on him? Or was there something far darker at play? Was he being stalked by someone he didn't know? Fearing for his safety, Daniel immediately decided to stop using Snapchat and deleted all his social media accounts. He tried to put the terrifying experience out of his mind, but the fear didn't subside. For weeks, the unsettling thought that someone was still watching him lingered. No matter how far he went or what precautions he took, the memory of those eerie messages haunted him, like a shadow he couldn't escape. And though the messages eventually stopped, Daniel never truly felt safe again. He learned to be cautious, to protect his privacy, and to never underestimate the dark side of technology.